Hello everybody, Patrick Glenn Nichols, Muscle Car Barn Finds, and today I'm out here in Arizona checking on a really cool car that turned out to be hidden for a while. This is a really special car. It turned out to be an L78 396 375 horsepower 1970 Chevelle that's been a drag car, disguised as an old drag car for years, but I come out here to authenticate the car as a real L78, and that's exactly what it turns out to be. Most of you guys understand that once the documentation or the driveline components are missing, that's where I come in, because at that point you have to rely on solid concrete facts of the characteristics of the car that have been unaltered, and you can prove, within 100 years from now, those facts will never change. Then at that point, I'm able to put my endorsement on a car because I know it's concrete and it has not been changed. So from assembly plant to assembly plant, things change. From dates to VIN rivets to unaltered frame, unaltered body, things of that nature is what you look at to where it does not lie. So right off the bat, we'll go and I'll start with this car and show you some of the characteristics of this car which will allow this car to be into the L78 registry. Most of you guys that have been following along with me for a while understand that the L78 was only offered the first 90 days or so of the 1970 Chevelle assembly process. They generally were done in mid to late November, and about only 2,144 of those cars were ever assembled. So right off the bat, we'll go to the unaltered cowl tag to this car, which is in Atlanta. This is a second week of Atlanta, November. So 1970 for 70, 13637 for two-door hardtop, A for Atlanta, 09126 is the body number, 756 for black bucket seat trim, B80, B90 for, as we know, the window trim. It's on all Atlanta, Georgia cowl tags. 58 for autumn gold, B for black vinyl top. Car still does have a black vinyl top, although it has been changed. It's not the original vinyl top. November 11 for beef, second week of 1969, and then 047290. The rest of these figures are data processing figures that would be on a Atlanta, Georgia build sheet had the build sheet still been present with this car. Next thing I wanted to show you is this is a true ZL2 Cowl Induction car, because the provisions in the firewall, which don't lie, are present. So right off the bat, you can see the top hole, that is for the Tach Gauges, the U14, which the car does still have an unaltered dash with a high red line tachometer. The next portion you see, that's the accelerator cable. This portion here is for the cruise control. And then the other provision, lower provision there, is for the ZL2 Cowl Induction. And this provision here, only Atlanta, Georgia assembly plant put the Cowl Induction relay up here on the firewall just below this provision right there. So that also leads you to believe, it's concrete that this car was born with the Cowl Induction hood. Next thing you look at, as you can see, there's no provisions for the hood pin cables. So we have a situation here, but if the first thing you look at under the car, you can see on the frame we have some frame damage right in here, which would prove that tie bar, upper tie bar, has been changed along with the radiator support. So we have a altered tie bar, but a factory ZL2 Cowl Induction car. Next thing I want you to focus on, the factory CX code standard manual transmission floor shift steering column is still in the car, which shows up correct. This is a bucket seat car, 4-speed manual transmission. Next thing I want you to focus on is inside here where the heater box once was, you can still see the autumn gold paint. So now we have autumn gold paint evidence along with an unaltered cowl tag. So this body is the factory body. On top of the fact, if you look inside where the body bushings go, the body has never been off this frame as well. So we have a correct body, and the body's never been off the frame. Going to the interior, if you look closer, you can see the high red line 6500 tachometer and the correct fasteners, whereas this dash has never been out of this car. So now we have a 6,500 RPM tachometer in a car that's never been altered, on top of the fact that we have a unaltered VIN plate with the correct rivets for an Atlanta, Georgia car as well. So moving along, you see the car is getting more and more honest. Next thing you see is a factory hump, floor shift hump for a 4-speed car with a console that's never been altered, along with the rear mount that's welded to the floorboard for the console. And the bucket seat mounts are still in the car as well. So you can see the car is now an automatic, which has been changed. The clutch pedal and the brake pedal has been altered. But this is the original dash with the high red line 6,500 tachometer. Moving to the back, which I will show you, this frame and body has never been apart. And the date on the frame coincides with the November 2nd week. You can check out right there, 102769, October the 27th of 1969. And you can see in many places where the original body bushings are still intact on this car and in place. So this body has never been off of this car. And this frame and body have always been married together. Moving around to the other side of the car, I want to show you the unaltered single fuel line, which we've been over this before, but this is concrete. So anytime you have an early production assembly line car, Atlanta, Georgia actually was the last plant, or they went late into March before they changed to the dual 768 dual with a return line. This car being a November 2nd week with an unaltered fuel line has never been off this frame, and this frame has never been off of this car. That would prove that this car was born a special high performance car. And the only thing it could be is a 396, 375, because the M22 transmission was not even prepared and ready for production in November. So this car would be a 396, 375 car, not an LS6. So those characteristics that we have there are concrete. What we know for a fact is no small block or L34, only a solid lifter car was born with a 3/8 fuel line with no return line. Only a solid lifter car. So when you have an unaltered frame, an unaltered body, an unaltered cowl tag and VIN tag with a dash in a car that has the high performance, high red line tachometer, that is enough evidence to put that this car, with absolute certainty, this car was born a special high performance car. And at that point we know, being a November 2nd week, this is an L78, one of the 2,144 special high performance L78 396 70 Chevelles. Really rare cars. They're about half, twice as rare as an LS6. Really cool car. So this car was autumn gold, black vinyl top, black bucket seats, console, U14 Tach Gauges, no power steering, and vinyl top with black stripes. And that's the way it's going to be authenticated and endorsed and into the L78 registry. It will be receiving my endorsement, and it will be entered into the L78 registry. So these are some of the things that where I come in when the documentation and the driveline components are gone. We look at all things that could not be, that are not altered, that you cannot fake, that are still here, that are 100% concrete. And that's what we have found here, 100% concrete evidence. And that's why it will receive my endorsement. I'm Patrick Glenn Nichols, Muscle Car Barn Finds. Please reach out to me if you need your 70 Chevelle authenticated. I'm definitely doing well with that. Like I said, I've sniffed out a lot of fake cars lately, and it helped a lot of guys not buy bogus cars and into real authentic cars. The main thing is that guys are buying exactly what they think they are buying. There's no shady situation going on. There's no restamps. There's no bogus. Nobody gets had. And that's what I come in, and that's what I do best. So reach out to me, pnichols26 at Yahoo, or Patrick Glenn Nichols on Facebook. I have a few pages on Facebook. Patrick Glenn Nichols on Facebook. Patrick Glenn Nichols Muscle Car Barn Finds as well. Thanks very much for watching. More videos on the way.